Hey, what's up to all the naturally created people out there? I hope y'all are having a good day, and I'm glad to be with you. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it, especially in these days. We can't take the people in our lives for granted, even if it's online. There's too much division going on out there, and I don't want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of the solution of uniting people in truth, or at least towards truth. Um, I know a lot of people, they no longer like to watch the media or television programs because they don't want to be misled by all the figures that they have to influence our minds with. I mean, and I don't blame you. I used to feel the same way, but the more truths I discovered in my life, then the more I understood how they program us to be, and the more I understand how they influence us, the more control I have over how they can influence me. You know, they can no longer influence me to believe in the lies they can try to control me with. On the contrary, I can now point those lies out about how they control the general population. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look inside the media, and we're going to see how they influence our minds instead of the other way around. So let's break it down. Let's get into it.
10 people were shot in New York City over the weekend. The gunmen escaped on mopeds. A mayoral candidate addressed the issue of gang violence today at the intersection where the shooting took place. NTD's Jason Perry.
Now, wow, right off the bat we can see that an incident occurred where supposedly 10 people got shot by these guys on mopeds in New York City. And now the person running for mayor that wants your vote is standing at the intersection where it occurred. What a coincidence that they have it all in one package for us to consume and be influenced by. It's not a coincidence. This is how they want us to believe in the systems that enslave us. Okay? They control us since birth to believe in these invisible borders, and once again, these people are in the invisible border of New York, enslaving the people that live there by the ways they want to control them. And that's with the laws that they create. And that's with the police that they label and define and control people with the Constitution that they've gotten both sides to believe in. Okay? In other words, they program the people in those invisible borders to believe in the Constitution and the laws that restrict them. And they've accepted the labels of, say, a criminal if they violate those laws, and they accept the fines and fees that they enforce on those people that they define. And this is all of us, guys. This is all of us. You know, they do this to all of us, and this is how they get us to believe in the system that restricts us.
He has the details.
On Saturday night, in the Corona neighborhood of Queens, two masked gunmen in hoodies pulled out guns and started firing into a crowd, injuring 10 people. They were all hospitalized. Following closely behind the shooters were two suspects on mopeds. One of the shooters was seen jumping on the back of one of the mopeds before fleeing the scene. We spoke to some people near the area to see if they felt safe and if they think anything needs to be.
Now, you see, they showed us some vague clips, but they didn't show us a clip of where the guys were actually doing the shooting. I mean, no one wants to see somebody get shot, but we do want to actually believe in what we're being told. So if we can't physically verify it with our eyes, chances are, you know, we're not going to believe it. But a lot of people do. The majority do, because they're programmed to believe in the news channels that bring us what is true and what is not. Okay? But they're not actually looking at how these things control us.
Done. This is just like try to investigate what's happening, to be honest. There's a lot of gang and crimes going on. I think everything's perfect.
Okay, I mean, they're asking people on the street in the neighborhood, you know, and the one girl said, try to control the gangs. I mean, why are there gangs to begin with? Okay? I mean, we have to look at how they programmed us to be, you know, 3 generations before that, and continuous, at least 3 generations before this generation. They've been programming us with rap music, you know, all these artists they got us to idolize and believe in, you know. A lot of the kids growing up choose to put their belief in them, you know, and then those artists turned around and programmed their minds into things that weren't good for them, like being consumed by the monetary lifestyle of money, and wanting to worship and get money at any cost and do it with as much ease as possible, and do it with guns, you know, do it for drugs that they program you to desire and be addicted to, and possibly sell, you know, selling these drugs that can possibly kill. And I'm not talking about marijuana, I'm talking about the harder stuff. Selling drugs that can possibly kill, you know. And it does kill a lot of people. A lot of people. And here we are. I mean, they program us to want this lifestyle through the music. And then it hits us in real life when real things start to happen, you know. Our real children that we create start to die because of people, you know, cutting drugs with the wrong kind of deadly things, and you know, death happens because of that. And it comes from a system that just wants to enslave us and promote these things instead of, you know, helping, get people off of these things. I mean, sure, we have small groups of people that care about other people, which is great, but they're fighting an enormous government that programs people on how to live, programs people on how to be, because the governments allow this programming to take place with the gang mentality agenda and the rap music. They knew it was happening. We all know deep down that they created this agenda. We all know deep down that they pushed it on the people. We all know deep down that they cycled the money that we're a slave to so we can buy what programs our minds. See how it works, people? They get us to worship these idols who supposedly create this music. And then they get us to cycle the money we're enslaved to live by so we can be consumed by the music. It's a never-ending cycle of control. But it also programs the children to do things like this, to take natural life without even blinking an eye, because they were programmed to be insensitive to it, to think it means nothing to be a natural living person. You know, to them, natural living person can be run over in a video game, or run over in real life, or shot in real life, or, you know, have their brains beaten out against the sidewalk, or knifed to death until they stop breathing. That's how they program people to be nowadays. And they made us pay for that programming in the music. And some parents were programmed to even buy their children this to influence their minds. They had no idea that they were influencing their children into a lifestyle that would either lead to death or someone else's death, or at the minimum just a life of drug abuse. It's horrible, people, what they do to us. And it's not only through the music and the video games. The governments that control us influence this lifestyle as well.
Really safe?
You know, in the 99, when everybody shot, my father there. My father go back the one car.
See, he's here to influence your mind to believe that this really happened because his father was there as he was shot, and he was standing over here, and you know, and it could have been true, but like I said, the point is not to debate on whether it's true or not. It's how they program your mind with what they want to influence you to believe. And what they want to influence us to believe here is they want us to believe in the imaginary borders of the city of New York, where they control people with the local laws and law enforcement that they use against them. And the law enforcement consists of natural people that were labeled and programmed because of the Constitution to go against the people in society they label to be criminals. With all the petty laws that they have on the books against the people. So if they're there to break these petty laws, then they have the police there to use against them. We're all naturally created people, and they use us against each other. That's what I'm saying.
And everybody shooting.
New York City Mayor candidate Curtis Sliwa addressed the issue of gang violence, and he said he would like to re-implement stop, question, and frisk so officers have a chance to stop crimes before they happen.
What happens if you as a police officer don't speak Spanish and he says, no hable English? Are you able to continue to do the frisk? Of course you should be able to do that. It's common sense.
He says some of the policies
Okay, did you see what he did there? He tried to confuse the situation with a person's inability to speak the language. But it's okay to just stop anyone on the street that you say has constitutional rights and freedoms to be there. But it's okay to restrict them with new laws we create to search and seize their physical being. You know, they're not only punishing the 10 people that committed these crimes, they're punishing everyone that believes in the imaginary borders that don't exist. You know, that's what they're doing. They're hoping that your continued belief in the system they enslave you in, they're hoping you will not find out the truth. They're hoping you're going to continue being the person that they created. Okay? The person they created to believe in the Constitution. You remember the one you pledged your allegiance to in the indoctrination center you went to as a child. Yeah. The same Constitution that has all these laws that restrict you. And we still believe in it. And then they tell us we're free. How do we do that, people? How do we think we're free when we can see we're restricted in all of these ways? When we're controlled in all of these ways? We're not.
under Mayor Bill de Blasio have emboldened the criminals.
The only way we can stop them effectively by strengthening the NYPD, restoring the gang unit, hiring more cops, and taking the handcuffs off the cops, and putting them on the criminals, remanding them to jail, no bail. That's how.
Now you see what he wants to do? Now, let's take a look at the mayor. Now the mayor, well, let's take a look at this guy first. This guy is part of a gang, okay? Obviously, he's got two strong arms beside him in his so-called gang. And he's trying to tell another gang. You see what I'm saying? It's gang against gang. The gang mentality is even in our governments. Okay? This is how you know they're controlling us every step of the way. This video was put together in a specific way where it led back to the mayor. Okay? I know this guy is running for mayor, but the mayor now of New York City has control over the people. Alright? So, if this guy gets control over people, he wants to strong arm them with the police, with the natural people they label to be police. You know, the ones they define to be police and uphold the Constitution that restricts us with the laws they've created. That one? Yeah. They're using brother against brother. They're using natural creation against natural creation. They're dividing us in the very places we live. Not only dividing us, but controlling us with the labels they create and define us to be. We need to stop this gang mentality. And not only this gang mentality, we need to stop this control over us. These imaginary borders have to be deprogrammed from our minds. Break out of that box of enslavement and control over your mind, your emotions, and your physical body. These people, I mean, they don't care if they hurt us. They use the natural people we already create against us. All they need to do is get them to believe in the labels they created to use them against other people with. It's crazy shit, y'all.
Now gangbangers will understand the rules have changed.
It was right here at this corner where two gunmen walked up and opened fire on a crowd of people, hitting 10 people, all of whom are expected to survive. Curtis Lewa says he expects to see retaliation violence sometime in the near future. And NYPD says if anyone has any information regarding this shooting, to report it to Crime Stoppers. And
look at that, guys. People, they just go about their lives. They know they're being controlled, have a feeling they're being controlled, have a feeling something's wrong in life, but they can't put their finger on it. It's the system of money. It's destroyed humanity. Look at the way it gets us to live. Look at the real ways they get us to live because of it. You know, we're forced to work for companies for the money they enslave us to live by. All because we didn't stand up when they took our land away from us. We didn't stand up when they took our land from us. We didn't stand up when they started indoctrinating us in schools and getting us to pledge our allegiance to something we didn't really believe in. Then we didn't stand up for ourselves when they took away our water to drink, our free water to drink. We didn't stand up for ourselves when they took away our ability to eat the free food that we grow. Hell, they're even taking away They're even taking away the air that we breathe. Where are we going with this, guys? This is how they control the people. You know how they control the people? They control us when they get us to believe in the God they created. They get us to all pray to the God they created. They created this God. The God they created didn't create us because it's man-made. You know what I mean? All gods are man-made. Satan is man-made. It's a good versus evil scenario they got us to believe in. They want us to have enemies so we can never unite. The ultimate form of division. They want us to bow down and be controlled by kingdoms all of our lives. The ultimate form of division and subserviency. Being a servant instead of an independent, natural person. If you're praying to this God they created, the only way your prayers are going to get answered if by coincidence that it happens. No amount of prayer to a false man-made entity is going to help your situation. They're counting on that. It's a way they control you, control your actions, so you will rely on this God they created instead of relying on your own actions and your own intentions to make things happen. Because if you relied on your own intentions and your own actions when you saw things that weren't right, you would take care of business more times than not. You need to search for truth instead of living the ways they want to control us. Look at this. People accept the ways they're controlled by money. They accept the horrible things that money creates. People kill because of money. People kill because they're programmed to. No one cares. How did we ever get to this point anyway, where we think it's normal? I mean, normal is what they programmed us to believe in. It's normal to live this way. It's normal to be under the control of so many divisions. And we think it came from what created us naturally? How is that possible? It's not. We need to wake up to that. Take care, guys.